I moved out of my parents' house last year, but I still visit most weekends to help around and spend time with them. My old bedroom has been left exactly the way it was. All my childhood stuff is still there. That includes some collector edition Barbie dolls that my dad gave me when I was younger. They're still in their original boxes, neatly stored on a high shelf. There are about 10 of them, and a few are worth something now because of their age and condition. But honestly, I've never considered selling them. They remind me of my dad. He used to work in the US while we lived in Canada without him, and whenever he visited, he brought toys or little gifts. Those dolls represent his love and effort, and I'm pretty sentimental about them. Anyway, this past weekend I went to visit my mom. She had some of her friends over, and one of them, let's call her Jane, brought her 5-year-old granddaughter along. Beforehand, I told my mom clearly, please don't let the child go into my room. I've had bad experiences before with kids touching or even breaking my things. So I was downstairs working in a separate room when I suddenly heard Jane's voice upstairs. I thought, no way. Sure enough, Jane had taken her granddaughter upstairs. I could hear them walking around and opening doors. When I heard something about dolls, I rushed up. I found them in my room, and Jane was literally in my closet, pointing at the shelf where the dolls were. She'd already pulled one of the collector Barbies out of the box and was showing it to her granddaughter, saying something like, "Look, isn't she pretty? Don't you want to play with this one?" I stepped in and, as calmly as I could, said, "Can you please not touch that? These are collectibles and they're kept in the box for a reason." Jane didn't apologize. She just looked a bit annoyed and handed the box back like she was doing me a favor. Then she left the room, but her granddaughter started crying, saying she wanted to play with the princess doll. I felt bad for the kid. It's not her fault, so I went through my things and found a few older Barbies I'd played with as a child. I brought them downstairs and offered them to her. But no, she only wanted the boxed Princess Barbie. They didn't go back upstairs after that, but I was left feeling super uncomfortable. Like, I know people don't always understand collectibles or sentimental items, but it just felt so disrespectful to walk into someone's personal space and start grabbing things. My mom ended up suggesting we put a lock on my door, especially since Jane tends to wander whenever she visits. So we installed a lock the next morning and made it clear that my room is off limits going forward. By the way, I'm South Asian, and culturally, some older aunties don't understand the idea of boundaries when it comes to personal belongings, especially if it belongs to someone younger. There's this sense that if they're older, they're entitled to do or touch whatever they want, and sentimentality over things like toys just seems silly to them. Also, I live in a small condo now and there just isn't enough space to bring everything from my childhood room. So a lot of my things are still at my parents' house, which makes it even more important to keep that space respected. I'm still kind of baffled that Jane thought it was okay to go through someone's room like that. Especially when I wasn't even there. Anyway, I just needed to vent. I'm glad the door is locked now. But wow, the nerve some people have.